So you just finished your final day at a job and told everyone that you hate them, but you decide to be responsible and move your 401k into an IRA so you have more control over your investments. You fill out some paperwork, click a few buttons, and go on with your life. Then tax season rolls around, you open a letter from the IRS and find out that because of one tiny check mark on a form, you now owe over $10,000 on taxes that you do not have. And this is not a horror story I made up to scare you. It's a reality for people who do not understand the landmines hidden in the rollover process. And the thing is, a rollover can be one of the smartest moves you ever make for your financial future. And it gives you more investment choices, often lowers your fees, and lets you see your whole portfolio in one place. But the margin for error is very thin. One wrong move can cost you more than most people realize. And I have spent years as that finance guy helping clients, and I've seen way too many people come to me after the damage is already done. And by the time they realize they messed up, it's usually too late to fix it. Now, when you leave a job or decide to retire, you generally have 4 paths you can take with your 401k. You can leave the money exactly where it is in the old plan, which is sometimes the right move if the fees are low. And you can move it into the 401k at your new job if you're still working. You can roll it into an IRA, which is what we're focusing on today, or you can just cash it out, which is usually the fastest way to set your retirement goals on fire if you're under the age of 59 and a half. But since I'm talking specifically to those of you who want to move that 401k, TSP, or 403b into an IRA, let me walk you through the 4 biggest mistakes people make when moving their money. And I will show you exactly how to keep your hard-earned cash where it belongs. So the first big mistake that I often see is rolling your money into the wrong type of IRA. And this sounds simple, but I'm telling you, people mess this up every single day. You cannot just treat all 401k, 403b, or TSP money as if it's the same. And if you have a traditional pre-tax 401k, that money needs to go into a traditional IRA or a rollover IRA. And if you have been contributing to a Roth 401k, that money has to go into a Roth IRA. And if you mix these up, you're inviting a tax disaster, especially if you accidentally move pre-tax money into a Roth IRA. The IRS views that as a Roth conversion. And that means you will owe income taxes on every single dollar you moved during that calendar year. And trust me when I say, I've seen this happen way too many times. And it's honestly heartbreaking because it is irreversible. And I once saw someone who meant to do a standard rollover, but they accidentally typed their Roth IRA account number instead of their traditional IRA account number on the distribution form. Now, there are restrictions in place now where you can't just easily type the wrong account number in, but you have to select traditional IRA in order to do so. But you never know with these things, right? And they moved $500,000 into the Roth account by mistake. And because they were in a high tax bracket, that accidental move triggered a 32% marginal tax rate. And it was about a $100,000 tax bill that they did not plan for and could not pay. Now, if you have $200,000 in a pre-tax 401k and move it into a Roth, that $200,000 gets added to your taxable income for the year, or in this case, $500,000. And if you and your spouse already make good money on your W-2s, that mistake could easily push you into the higher tax bracket possible. And if you have both types of money in your 401k, you're going to need 2 separate IRA accounts to keep things clean. Now, there's another layer to this called the backdoor Roth IRA problem. And some of you like to use the backdoor Roth strategy because you make too much money to contribute to a Roth IRA directly. But if you roll $500,000 of pre-tax 401k money into a traditional IRA, you could end up triggering the pro rata rule if you have a new job that comes with high income that goes over the Roth IRA income limit. And this means any future backdoor Roth attempts will be mostly taxable, which can ruin that strategy for a very long time unless you can move it to your new 401k plan. This is actually reversible because you can move your traditional IRA back into your traditional 401k. But before making that mistake, you'll be better off moving your old 401k into your new employer's 401k plan. And 401k plans do not count towards the pro rata rule, so you keep your backdoor Roth IRA option alive. And this is a big deal if you're still working and your income exceeds the Roth IRA contribution limits. And speaking of income limits, let me give you the 2026 numbers because they've been updated. And for single filers and heads of household, the Roth IRA phase-out range runs from $153,000 to $168,000. And for married couples filing taxes jointly, it's $242,000 to $252,000. And if your income is above those phase-out ranges, you cannot contribute directly to a Roth IRA at all. That's when strategies like the Backdoor Roth IRA become very important. And that's exactly why you don't want to accidentally block yourself from using it or creating taxable events by using pre-tax money in the wrong place. And you can check out my other video about the Backdoor Roth IRA strategy, and I'll put the link in the description below. And moving on to the next topic, let's talk about how the money actually travels from point A to point B. The second mistake is having the check made out to you personally. You need to know the difference between a direct rollover and an indirect rollover. In a direct rollover, the money goes straight from your old 401k provider to your new IRA provider. You never touch it. Because you never touch it, no taxes are withheld, and the risk of a mistake is almost zero. On the other hand, an indirect rollover is when the 401k provider cuts a check made out to you personally. And when they do this, the law usually requires them to withhold 20% for federal taxes immediately. You then have exactly 60 days to get that money into an IRA. And let's say you have a $100,000 401k. If you do an indirect rollover, the plan sends you a check for only $80,000 because they kept $20,000 for the IRS. To avoid taxes and penalties, you still have to deposit the full $100,000 into your IRA within those 60 days. And that means you have to find $20,000 in your own savings account to make up the difference while you wait for your tax refund next year. And if you cannot find that $20,000, the IRS treats it as a withdrawal. And if you're under the age of 59 and a half, you will also pay a 10% early withdrawal penalty on that $20,000. And I cannot say this enough. Always request a direct rollover. Do not let that check touch your hands if you can't avoid it. Now, let's talk about the third mistake, which is letting the rollover stall out. And a lot of people start the process and then just assume the technology and the people will handle the rest. They think it's like a Venmo transfer, but the financial world still moves at the speed of 1995, sometimes like Windows 95. Paperwork gets lost, the old employer drags their feet, or the new IRA provider needs one more signature that they forgot to ask for. And while this is happening, your money might be sitting in your old 401k, or it might be sitting in a clearing account as cash, not earning a dime. But the biggest danger here is the default to cash trap. And many investors think that once the money hits the IRA, it will automatically be invested in a target date fund or the S&P 500, just like it was in their 401k. That's not how it works. Most IRAs default to a cash or money market fund or money market account until you manually go in and buy something. And this happens in real life way too many times. And I have personally seen someone sit on their $600,000 rollover IRA in cash because they didn't know they had to take another step by investing it. And this money sat there from 2016 to 2020. And so just imagine missing out on the bull market run, right? And I would cry too if I found out that $700,000 could have turned into almost $1.2 million during those 5 years. But anyway, let me give you a real world picture of what this actually looks like. Imagine someone rolls over $150,000 into an IRA. Life gets busy and they just forget to follow up. 2 years have gone by. The market has been climbing and that $150,000 has been sitting in a money market account the whole time, earning almost nothing. And that's not a hypothetical. That happens constantly. And the cost of that kind of inaction adds up fast, and leaving rollover money parked in cash for years can quietly cost someone tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of a long retirement. Not because they made a bad investment, because they made no investment at all. And I've personally seen people come to me convinced their rollover was done, only to find out months later the money never actually got invested. And they assumed the process was complete, and it wasn't. And here's what Vanguard's research found on this. And they looked at rollover investors who completed a transfer and left the money in a money market fund. And after 12 months, 28% of those investors still had not moved out of cash. And once the money stays in cash past that first year, Vanguard found that it tends to stay in cash for 7 years or longer for a lot of people. And 7 years in their research, they also found that about half of rollover investors mistakenly believed their IRA contributions were automatically invested. And 46% didn't even realize their money had been sitting in a money market account the entire time. In another Vanguard estimate, investing rollover money in a target date fund at the time of rollover could lead to at least $130,000 more by age 65 for investors under 55. And that's not pocket change. That's the difference between money working for you and money taking a long nap. And I've seen people think the rollover was done only to find out months later that the account was just sitting there like a parked car with the engine off. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Rolling to an IRA is not automatically the best move for everyone. And there are some real benefits inside a 401k that you may not be able to replicate once you leave. And if you roll over without understanding what you're walking away from, you might regret it later. So let me just hit you with the 3 biggest ones. First, creditor protection. 401k plans are protected under federal law, specifically ERISA, which gives them very strong protections against creditors, lawsuits, and bankruptcies. And IRAs do have some protection, but it varies by state, and it's generally not as comprehensive as what you get in a 401k. And if you're in a profession or a situation where asset protection is a concern, this is worth thinking about. And second, require minimum distributions. If you're still working past age 73 or 75, depending on when you were born, you may be able to delay RMDs from your current employer's 401k. And that's not an option with a traditional IRA. You will have to start taking RMDs regardless of whether you're still working. So for people who are still active in the workforce in their 70s, keeping money in their employer plan can give you a bit more flexibility. But the third one, the rule of 55, is the most relevant for those planning to retire in their mid to late 50s. And here's what it says. If you leave your job at age 55 or older and your money is still in your employer's 401k, you may be able to take withdrawals from that 401k without the 10% early withdrawal penalty, which means you just have to turn 55 in the calendar year. And you can be 54 in January and turn 55 in December, and you get to enjoy the full calendar year penalty free. And that rule applies to the specific 401k from the employer you just left. So you need to make sure that your 401k comes with the rule of 55. And I know TSP has it for sure, but not every 401k plan or 403b does. But the moment you roll that money into an IRA, you lose access to the rule of 55. Your money is now locked up in the IRA until age 59 and a half before you can access it penalty free. Now think about what that means practically. Say you retire at 56 with $1 million in your 401k and you need $50,000 a year to cover your living expenses before Social Security kicks in. And if that money stays in the 401k, the rule of 55 applies. You can take those $50,000 annual withdrawals with no 10% penalty. But if you had rolled everything into an IRA first, that same withdrawal could trigger a 10% early withdrawal penalty on every dollar you take before 59 and a half. On $50,000 a year, that's $5,000 a year in unnecessary penalties. For 3 years, that's $15,000 gone for nothing. At the end of the day, a rollover should be a way to simplify your life and help you reach your goals. And it should not be a tax disaster that ruins your retirement before it even starts. So let's bring it all together. Here are the 4 mistakes that you must avoid. Mistake number 1 is rolling into the wrong type of IRA. Put pre-tax money into a traditional IRA and Roth money into a Roth IRA. And double check the account number before you sign anything. And mistake number 2 is having a check made out to you. Always go direct, always. And mistake number 3 is letting the rollover stall and follow up. And once the money arrives, invest it. Don't let it sit in cash for 7 years. And mistake number 4 is giving up benefits you cannot go back. The rule of 55 Creditor protections and the ability to delay RMDs are real advantages. And know what you're walking away from before you walk away. And here's what I've seen time and time again. A lot of people rush this decision when they should slow down for 10 minutes and get it right. And these 10 minutes can save you a whole lot of money and a whole lot of regret. And if you want to get this right, keep the rollover simple, keep the taxes out of it, and keep your eye on the long game. And this has been another beast of a video, and I hope you got a lot out of it.